Today is June 11th, 2022 at 7:08 Central Standard Time. This video is made with love by love despite its presentation style. Okay, so this might be, I don't know how long. Anyway, all right, so I'm watching Newsy News. Oops, just a second. On C6.5. Just making an example. Real time. Exploration Awesome Planet 7 to 7:30. And this has nothing to do with what I'm about to talk about, but kind of it does because it was just an avalanche, and this is what's about to happen is a huge avalanche of businesses and things going down all at once, and once one goes down then they're all going to go down. So this is talking about the food shortage that's happening on a planet that's abundant, okay, on a planet that's abundant with water and trees and fish and things, and then there's a shortage of supply, okay. So one, it says awesome planet. One. Okay, so now this is how I came to this conclusion. Now I showed you, not everybody watches the videos, but I showed you Reynolds Wrap, how I purchased heavy duty, spent $26 for two long rolls, whatever, and it's thin now, like it's regular. And regular is so thin, whatever, that it's not even regular anymore. I don't even know why the fuck you would buy it, because you couldn't wrap anything with it. Okay, Reynolds Wrap. I mean, try wrapping your penis with it. It's like, you never know. It's hence the reason why video made with love by love, despite its presentation style. Anyway, so, okay, so I only get a few channels, all right? And so then now I was watching Duck Dynasty, and they're from Louisiana, and I'm from Minnesota, born and raised Minnesotan. And so I was from the Twin Cities. Shout out to the Midway. Anyway, and so when I, an empath, Google it if you don't know the word, EMPATHY. Ooh, spelling bee. Okay. Anyway, EMPATHY, empath. Empathy, I just spelled, but empath without the Y. So I would see something on the side of the road, dead cat, dog, whatever, and I would be all upset, and I would call human control. That's what it is, really, pet control, whatever, and say, "Come get this on the side of the road." And if I went that way every day and I'd still see it, I'd call every day until they'd pick it up. Okay, anyway, so then now I moved to the country. Now the town I live in is only 700, but I live in town, but it's like living in the country because you have to walk to the post box, and most of the people don't get their mail delivered. Okay, yes, and it's 2022. All right. So anyway, so I cook and only go to the store once a month. That's why I'm bitching about these things. So here we go for a second. So now I've noticed that even my 98-year-old friend noticed, and she cannot see, but she could still cook, okay? And so, like, you need 2 bags of chocolate chips in order to make Nestle's Toll House cookies. Okay, I'm just making an example. Or you need 2 cake mixes to make a cake that you would only used to make once. So then I was talking about shrink wrapping. It's like, well, now you don't have to worry about potato chips. You only eat one, you only get one, okay? And if you get more than one, it's because the chip broke on the way in the packaging. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So then now, if there's a shortage of food, I was watching Gina Marie Colvin, who talks about UFOs, and June 15th is her 4-year anniversary where she doesn't have to talk about this. And then June 14th is a full moon, and like in Liar Liar, Pants on Fire with Jim Carrey, that show where he had to speak the truth. Well, Papa Legba, Google it, and Merlin, which these people and things they say are myths are real. And so, anyway, are granting that wish for people to have to tell the truth after the full moon. So, won't that be interesting? So, give that a try to people who like to lie. Anyway, so then now I'm leaving it on the TV because it's like I was going to go sit outside on the porch and then the cat's in my spot. So, I decided I'd let him stay there, which I'm into 5 minutes kind of talking about nothing but getting to something. So, anyway, so I'm watching Duck Dynasty, back to that. And so then now, when I moved down here to the country and I used to drive, I haven't driven now for 7 years. And so then, but when I'd see something on the side of the road in the country, I would turn my head. But then as the years went by, I'd be like, what is that? Oh my gosh. Oh, who flattened it? Why is that still there? I mean, these questions would go through my mind. Okay. But so then now, flash forward to Duck Dynasty, and they're from Louisiana. And so then somebody asked him to get rid of some muskrats on their land, screwing up some of their cattle or something, whatever. And so I don't mean to be flippant. Google it, flippant. And dismissed to the plight of the farmer losing animals because that's not a whatever. And so, anyway, oh my gosh, get to the point, Robin. So they kill the muskrat, and on the way they find a snake, a rattlesnake, and they keep the muskrat and the rattlesnake, and they go to the butcher and they ask the butcher to make sausage out of the muskrat and the rattlesnake. Say ooh, yeah, ooh, okay. So then Cy says, yeah, well, it's no different than the stuff that's in your food at the store. Back to me bitching about the stuff in the store that's got bugs and things left in it. Shout out to Empress Lily, who just made a video like they're sending you bugs to bug you. Anyway, so then it's like, oh, now they put bugs, not only the processed stuff that we buy at the store that's all packaged nice, has bugs and rat hair and stuff in it. And then, but it's like, well, okay, whatever. The FDA approved it, right? Okay. So then Osai says, well, at least we know what's in it. Okay, well, he's got a point, but not really. Okay, oh. And so then they put hot pepper, jalapenos, and cheese in it. And then when they eat dinner that night, they're serving up that sausage, and they made rattlesnake sausage. Shut it, shut it. Now, not everybody ate it, but then they ate other sausages. So then there was a hot dog commercial that said, Oscar Myers, you didn't want to know. You don't want to know what's in it. Okay, rat, mice, whatever. You don't know. People, chicken lips. We all don't want to know, but we like them. Okay, back to the 4th of July coming up. Yeah, it's still June, but they like to roll Christmas around, be Christmas in July. So what the fuck, I can talk about the 4th of July because I'm going to the grocery store and I won't be back until after the 4th of July. So then this is why I'm talking about what I'm talking about. So then if you haven't ever had an artichoke, I thought, oh, an artichoke, what could I do with the artichoke? You can do a lot with the artichoke. I'm digressing. Okay, so but back to Cy and making these sausage. So I go to the store and I order from a little ice cream stand in town a burger and 2 things of tater tots, and it was $15. And so then now going to the store and buying stuff. And then this is where I'm going with this. So McDonald's, Subway, all of these large corporations, well, they don't really need to have flour. Back to Gina Marie Colvin and her UFO videos. Check her out. Back to her. She was talking about you needed 10 pounds of flour a day to make a loaf of bread and cookies or something else. I don't know, some other baked item. And I don't mean to be a smart ass about that either. Flip it. But It was just because why should they get the flour and the grain when they're not appreciating it? And then there's a food shortage, what the CDC says that is happening on a planet that's abundant, which then they're using your goods and services to use against you. And so then this is what I'm getting at. So when everybody says, I wish I fit in and I was different. I was watching this newsy news and this kid was an albino and he said, I wished I fit in. Well, no, you really don't wish you fit in because nobody fits in. And so then this is the problem. We're all different. And but what we all have in common is food, water, and shelter. That's what we all need. All right. And now there's a shortage of those things and on a planet that's abundant. Well, what's wrong here then? So then all these restaurants and whatever don't need to be because you can make all of those things at home and do it much better and know what it is that you're getting and not having to worry about what somebody else might have put in it. Then back to people, if you watch tarot readers and people putting blood in it and hair in it and having voodoo and doing black magic, and then you got that on top of it. Then you go to the movie Soylent Green was just on TV here, and that's about people eating humans. So then back to this guy called the lead farmer. He just went to Walmart and bought all the bacon. He said he wasn't sure if it was human or pig, but he was going to it was so cheap he was going to find out which it was. Well, they really do sell humans at Walmart, but then he was joking, but then they were pissed off because he bought all the bacon, and then people are stealing it because they don't have food, and then he was greedy and buying it all in the first place. He should have left some on the shelf for other people, especially when there is a shortage in trucking and whatnot. But if you eliminate the middleman, like all of these fast food restaurants and shit that you don't really like in the first place, and make it at home, back to me, and only getting to go to the grocery store once a month and making stuff. So then I have stuff left over, but now I'm going to bitch about noodles. They've thinned down noodles so bad, and I went to the little Casey's, that's what the convenience store is called, and they have to double bag it. And so when I went to pick up my order, there were three older gentlemen sitting there, and I struck up a conversation with them. And so then I said, if these bags get any thinner, I said they might as well be used as toilet paper. Well, then they offered me a ride to my home, and that was kind of them. So then even the plastic bags that they give us don't even hold the product that you buy at the store, is what I'm getting at. So then this is about bossing up, okay? And so then what's it mean when you say boss up, level up, whatever? So then now I got to thinking about it. Back to Lily, Empress Lily, shout out to her again. She was talking about how people click up, okay? Well, people hang together because they feel like they're stronger if they're in groups of three, fours, fives, which those are covens and circles, and they're bullying and gang stalking people, okay? So then they're feeding off of one another, but inside their mind and soul is really weak and they're really cowards, and so then they're really bullies, and a person is afraid to approach that person. Like a government agency is a building, it's just a structure. Like 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 if that little thing, where the fan is, was the building. It's like only people are, it's only alive when people are in it, otherwise it's dead, okay? So then we're the government, okay? So then those people are the government. So no people, no government, okay? So my point to this is that you shouldn't be afraid to approach the person in the government because they're individual. It's not the building. They use the whole every all those minds in the building to use against you, that one person, and whatever it is that you need, okay? So it's devoid of feeling, and back to the word empathy. and compassion, and so it doesn't have a soul. And so you're asking artificial intelligence, back to June, the month of LGTPQ, TPQXYZ, don't give a shit. Okay, it's like, I care about the individual. I don't care about a fake ass false community. That is not the same as being black and having your skin color show. That is not the same. It is not the same. It will never be the same. And leading with it and acting like it is, it's an agenda, and it's grooming children to believe something that is false. Okay, but I'm not even going to get into that. But it is all leading up to being bossed up and being bullied. Okay, so back to this guy who was an albino, and so then he didn't fit in. But then I watched these shows, Little People, they don't fit in. And then I'm mixed, well, I don't fit in. And then shout out to MECHEEX. She's mixed, but then she's not black enough in the black community. I'm not white enough in the white community. And then people shit on you because you're not this, you're not that. Okay, well, it's about bossing up. And so every time somebody violates, this is very important, everybody, because it's not about what you know, it's about what you do, and you're the boss of yourself. And so then it's like, just because you're book smart doesn't mean you're street smart, and just because you're street smart doesn't mean you're book smart. But you should get some book smarts on that, on the back of that, so you know what the fuck you're talking about. So then, and just because you know how to take a test doesn't mean, if you fail tests, that you're stupid. Okay, again, just because you're not able to take a test doesn't mean that's what you know. Okay, if you don't pass a test doesn't mean that's what you know. And lastly, it's like, can you teach common sense, or do you have to be born with it? So this is where we're at. So you have to think about what the fuck people are saying to you. And so then bossing up. So I was bullied. Everybody was bullied. I don't care. Short, tall, fat, this, that. That's the whole thing. Everybody's been bullied. And so then as a child, you have a chance to confront the bully because it's your peer, and you have to muster the courage of the size of a mustard seed to, balls up and, say, assert yourself back over them trying to assert over you. Okay, and so then this is how you practice bossing up, leveling up. But people don't do that, they're afraid. And so then now this is where we're at. We got adult people that don't know how to level up and boss up. And so when somebody shits on them, they just let them do it. So then I was watching this show where this guy, it's his wife, and he's like, you need to do this on Monday, you need to do this on Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday. And she missed, fucked up Thursday, and he's like, you didn't polish the silver, I told you you should have polished the silver. And then people who have been violated as a child, penetrated in the ass, anal penetration, or vaginal penetration, and then they hide that and are shameful of it because they're embarrassed because somebody else violated them, and then they asserted themselves over you. And so then this is very important. And so then you take that offense and you hold it and you let them do it, and then you continue to do it, and you continue to act on that offense when you really didn't like it in the first place and it made you feel uncomfortable. And so then it's like, you need to boss up, back to this Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. If they bossed up one another when the time was actually happening, the offense was happening amongst themselves, because they started that shit and then they dragged it into the public, and then they wanted the public to finish it, yeah, that's a no. That's a negative. And that's what everybody chooses to do, is they want other people to finish the shit that they started. Yeah, and so then back to Ukraine, and then we don't have any food, and then now they're sending our money, and then now it's really a pyramid scheme, and then they're using everybody against everybody to start shit. Yeah, then that's a problem. So back to the avalanche. It's going to be a big avalanche if people don't learn how to boss up and level up. Hence the reason why I said there was a May Day, and you can't get any thinner. You can't water shit down any more than what it is. Like strap what up? Well, then I might as well get a strap on, because we're all out of Vaseline.